power.
Where did his drive come from? Washington seemed to just want to get back to the farm and to be an honorable man. Jefferson was just an explorer, I think, an explorer on everything. Who was he?
Well, the first thing he wanted to do is, a lot of people came to the convention wanting to fix a broken government system. He wanted to do something epic, historic. He wanted to build a republic that would last for generations and decades. And he had studied every republic that had ever existed in the history of the world, and he believed that he had figured out a formula. Part of that formula was enumerated powers, not general powers, and decentralizing power.
Do you guys, does it bother you? When people used to say, oh, we're a democracy, I'd roll their eyes because somebody would inevitably say, no, we're a republic. You'd be like, okay, I get it, shut up. But now it really drives me crazy because we're not a democracy, and there is a concerted effort by the progressives to make us a democracy. These guys believe, when he studied all the other republics, he and Jefferson were very, very clear. Democracies never work, and republics always had fatal flaws, right? And so when he came to the Constitutional Convention, describe the scene a little bit. What was this like? They nailed the shutters closed, right?
Yeah, it was a secret meeting because they were afraid that if it was public, then if somebody made a speech and took a position, then they couldn't change their mind.
So it was like the Builderbergs.
And they actually laid sod out in front of the street so that when the carriages went by, it was quiet, nailed the windows shut, and for 4 months, those 55 men just stayed in that room and deliberated, unlike what we do today.
Because he had, 100 pounds, 5'4". I hear he had a kind of a mousy little voice, right?
A Frenchman once called him Mr. Mutterson.
Mr. Mutterson. Was he a pleasant fellow at all?
He was known to have a very sweet temperament. He was very quiet, very shy. And so he often had to be asked to speak up when he was on the floor of the House or in the convention and so on. But among his family and his close friends, he was actually quite humorous. He loved his nephews and nieces.
Because the thing that I have seen is, and again, I know very little about him, and I'm ashamed to say that, but what I do know is when he came to the convention, if this history is right, he was absolutely convinced, no, I have the plan. This is the plan, no deviation from it. And so he seems like he was a royal pain in the ass, because he was, am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
Because he was like, no, wait, I think we should no, this is it. This is the plan, right?
Yes, he stuck with what he thought was a correct plan long after many other people at the convention had changed their mind. For instance, Sherman came and convinced him to have 2 senators per state, which was another thing to improve states' authority and control over the federal government. And he thought long after everyone else, including Washington, had agreed to the 2-state compromise. But he wanted it by population.
I'm going to disagree with you guys just a little bit there. I'm sure that's why you have a woman on the show. I don't think he was a know-it-all. He did know a lot, and he was confident in what he